This is WWE superstar Drew McIntyre, and you're listening to the WWE Podcast.
The champ is
the one that everybody wants, me.
It's going to WrestleMania. Claymore!
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass. This is my iron. You're going to acknowledge me.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Main Event with your host Daniel from Australia. Again, hope you guys have had a lovely weekend and have finally managed to, take in all the stuff that's happened in the last week of wrestling. Lots more to get into today, obviously with the events of what happened in Raw, and also, touching again on the Elimination Chamber, the aftermath of that, and what we're mainly discussing, which is Main Event. We had two matches as normal, one starting with Cruz Del Toro up against Pete Dunne, and then we also had the match between Zoe Stark and Dakota Kai, which we will get into according to, how the Main Event episodes have been filmed and which segments have been incorporated within Raw as well. But again, good to be here again. And also just wanted to let you know again, from last week I mentioned that I'm starting my own podcast, and that officially went live as of Thursday for you guys, Friday for me. And I would love for you guys to check it out. It is at The Huddle Within, TheHeHuddleWithin. You can find me on all podcast networks and also on social media. Feel free to connect with me on X, Instagram, and TikTok as well. I'll be releasing episodes every Tuesday night, Wednesday Australian time for myself, and I kind of just go into the deeper levels of sports. We discuss a range of different topics within sports, and we may also incorporate some WWE stuff as well, hoping to do that on that podcast as well. So would love for you guys to check it out, and if you enjoy this podcast, hopefully you can, or this show, you can hopefully enjoy the shows that I'm putting out there as well. But without further ado, let's kick on with the first match, which was the Cruz Del Toro against Pete Dunne. A pretty decent match. I think Cruz Del Toro had the opportunity to showcase what's going on and what's he like without a tag team or without being in the LWO. He wrestled most of the match with his pants being ripped, which was pretty funny, but managed to still continue the match. It ended up Pete Dunne winning the match anyway with the bitter end, and getting the victory there, which was no surprise. I think Cruz Del Toro is simply on Main Event just to practice being a solo wrestler in a live show, and also Pete Dunne being the more experienced solo wrestler and the person that they're probably pushing more forward, got the victory here. But again, with the fact that he lost to Ludwig Kaiser and Penta in that triple threat match, I'm not sure whether Pete Dunne will continue the feud with them two or not. But with WrestleMania fast approaching, it doesn't seem like there's going to be anything for him there. It might mean that he still might be involved in this. We'll have to wait and see what happens on Raw. But they're still pushing Pete Dunne on Main Event, still him getting a lot of victory and probably much needed momentum going into the main shows. So look out for that space. Again, he's not happy with the nickname, so we won't say it on this show. But again, hopefully they continue to ride with that for his sake, as that's probably the only attention, to be honest, he has within WWE is people calling him that. So hopefully that continues on for himself. And then moving on, we go on to Monday Night Raw, and it starts with CM Punk, who probably is the best person to start a show post Elimination Chamber, especially with the events that happened, which we'll get into again, because it's been a week and it's still quite shocking. Well, I wouldn't say, as mentioned, shocking in a sense that WWE actually pulled the trigger on making John Cena a heel. But not shocking as people obviously did think that it could happen. But again, still something that you could never have imagined. And then even the way that it happened, you probably weren't able to exactly picture that actually happening, how it went out. So again, before we get into that, Punk makes his way to the ring, basically pulls out a promo calling out Dwayne, calling him a bold fraud. going on to how he does those fake goosebumps, which was quite quite spectacular. It's crazy how CM Punk can just come up with this stuff on air and just be able to kind of just pull out such an effective promo. It was the best promo he probably pulled since he's come back to the WWE. This reminded me of the Punk of old, and it's just crazy how now he's the one that's the pure face in this feud with John Cena. Well, not feud now, but you know what I mean. Like with John Cena being a heel and Punk being a face, it just turned its head. And him calling out The Rock and John Cena is just pretty cool. And then we had him call out Cena, mentioning them both as bold frauds, that he turned on all the kids, and that John Cena, everyone can see who he truly is, which is quite true, because obviously Punk did call this out back in the day. So it's just crazy how things flip. And then we had Seth Rollins come out. And them two just pretty much brawling for the remainder of the first segment there, following on and backstage as well. We then get confirmed that they're going to be fighting at Monday Night Raw at Madison Square Garden in a steel cage. So what I think will happen there is I'm hoping that Roman Reigns finds a way to get involved and maybe cost Seth Rollins the match or just interfere altogether. Leading up to a program between them two at WrestleMania. And a lot of people are saying that Punk may call his favor to Paul Heyman to get himself a main event WrestleMania match. But I feel as though that he's going to be more pulled into a potential triple threat match between Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. The reason why I say that is because he's obviously eliminated the both of them at the Royal Rumble. And I just don't see how Punk being involved in that right now will make any sense in terms of like him wanting to go for the WWE Championship. I know that everyone is waiting for CM Punk to main event at WrestleMania, but I feel like we can afford to wait one more year, especially with some unfinished business with Seth Rollins and also the card of Roman Reigns coming back as well. And it feels as though that this storyline is mainly centered on, or the main event storyline between Cody Rhodes and John Cena is centered on The Rock being involved, and how John Cena has, as we've seen, sold his soul to The Rock. And I think Punk will just be stuck into that. And he did obviously mention that he's going to see those two down the road. So I'm thinking they're going to have their match, and he's going to have his feud with with The Rock in the foreseeable future for sure. I just don't think right now is the right time. And I think it just overcomplicates things if they have a triple threat match. I might be wrong, but I think that's where they're going to go personally because of that. And I think CM Punk and Roman Reigns had some tension as well before Survivor Series. So I think that's also going to happen as well. And with the fact that Paul Heyman is obviously the special wise man for Roman Reigns, and Punk being his best friend, Paul Heyman might make that storyline a little bit more interesting as well because of the favor that Punk's asked for. It does tie in all three of them to have kind of feuds between each other, especially with CM Punk, which is most important. And also we still see Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns getting their program too. Ideally, we still want to see a one-on-one program between the two, but I think that's something that can also happen down the line as well. I think those two will never be able to kind of get along storyline-wise because of the fact that Seth Rollins betrayed him back in that time when they were with the Shield. So they can always go back to that, and they can always go back to that tension. So I'm not worried for that feud this year. I don't mind CM Punk being involved in that because there's more lead up and it makes more sense towards the storyline. I feel like if CM Punk goes into the main event match with John Cena and Cody Rhodes, it will only be for the sake of him being a part of a main event. And I think if Punk still has it in the tank, which I'm sure he does, especially if him in ring he's looking at the best shape he's been in a long time, and him on the mic has been incredible. I still think there's going to be a time where he will main event WrestleMania, and it's going to happen. So I think we just have to be patient for one more year for that. And this perfectly moves on to main event covering sort of what happened at Elimination Chamber, which pretty much the whole world has saw. Here in Australia, they actually put it on our news that John Cena turned heel, which was quite funny. But again, for me, I'm super shocked that WWE actually decided to do it. It's going to be interesting because, again, it's not going to be for too long. This is John Cena's last run, but I'm just eager to see John Cena back in the ring, delivering a promo to explain why he's done it. And I think we all know why he's done it. He's obviously selling his soul to The Rock to be able to get to the heights The Rock has, especially with his film career, and also leaving the WWE to pursue that, which John Cena has done as well. It's just going to, I guess, for us to really know is if when John Cena actually comes out and explains himself and says, this is why I've done it. And it just makes the feud a lot more interesting. And I think the fans are going to go and boo him hardly, which is good. From what I've seen in the previous shows, every time his name has been mentioned, he's been booed. So that's really good. And I think, we're going to just have to wait and see what happens. We need to really know what John Cena's got to say. And I think everyone's just anticipating that as well. And lots of factors there. And we'll see. Cody Rhodes definitely needs help. I like the idea of Stone Cold Steve Austin coming back. You've got Randy Orton that also returned. And they also show that in the main event. And last week, I got to say, I apologize for not really talking about Randy Orton's event return too much. Just mentioning that he was going to punt Kevin Owens and the security guard stopped him. But because of John Cena's heel turn being so not surprising, but so surprising. And that obviously took over the news. Randy Orton got stitched up again, like when CM Punk returned. We weren't able to talk about his return as well. Him coming into the ring and RKing all the security guards and everything. And I think he's going to have his program with Kevin Owens. I did hope that he was going to fight Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, but that doesn't look like it's going to happen with all the events that just occurred. And I think we've got a lot better storyline now. So glad I was proven wrong and was patient with that. But again, Randy Orton could be involved with Cody Rhodes down the line after he's done with Kevin Owens. But I'd love to definitely see him feud with John Cena, which I hope does happen as well, because I think Randy Orton coming back at this time is just like the perfect time. And let's just say, I just still can't believe how jacked Randy Orton looks. Every time he comes back, it's just amazing how jacked he looks at the moment. I remember back in 29 when he was literally like skinny, bold Orton. He was a menace back then, an unbelievable heel. I remember as a kid I used to really, really hate him to a point where I just couldn't stand him as a wrestler as a kid, being a kid, not understanding how heels are. But now being able to really appreciate his work, and then now to the present moment, him just being super jacked. I really hope they have that feud with Cena. I really hope he gets another championship as well. I hope it most likely will be, if Cena wins against Cody Rhodes, them going to have that battle, or maybe him protecting Cody and then them having their eventual program too. But those options can be either or. So either one of them I'd be excited for. But again, Randy Orton also making his return. I just wanted to touch up on that because I wanted to make that a little bit more significant because it wasn't spoke about last week. So yeah, Randy Orton's back, and lots of plans for him going forward. First, he has to get through Kevin Owens, and then move forward on to other things as well. And now moving on to the second match of main event, which was Zoe Stark and Dakota Kai. This match was actually really good. There was a lot of near falls, which was great to see. The fans were sort of getting into it towards the end because of these near falls, which was pretty awesome. But Dakota Kai ended up getting the victory with the GTK, which I think is a message to say that she still is in that intercontinental conversation, especially losing her return match against Lara Valkyria last week. There might be a chance for her to get retribution and go for the Intercontinental Championship as well. Maybe they'll do something at WrestleMania with a multi-women's match, but we'll have to wait and see there. As for Zoe Stark, again, they just remain to be on main event. There isn't really much plans for her and Shayna Baszler. I feel as though they just need to ramp up the women's tag team division, get those two involved in that. I know that Liv and Raquel Rodriguez are heels, and they are the current tag team champions, but they need to find a way to incorporate those two in the women's division, whether it's separate or together as a tag team, because since they formed PFC, they've done absolutely nothing. We thought they were going to be somewhat significant, and now that Sonya Deville is gone, they really haven't done much with those two. And yeah, I think that they really need to start figuring out what they need to do with those two. I think as a tag team, it makes sense, but again, we'll have to wait and see. But them, Zoe Stark not getting the victory doesn't help. Dakota Kai gets the victory there, and that pushes her forward to, maybe having those potential future Intercontinental Championship matches. And then we finish off the show back to Monday Night Raw with the main event of the show, which was Rhea Ripley and Io Sky fighting for the World Heavyweight Championship. And we also got a massive surprise from Triple H as Io Sky got the victory here. Now, last week I did say that there was no chance that Io Sky was going to win the match, which I still kind of believed to a thought. But then now looking at Io Sky winning and then kind of seeing the events that led up to the championship, her, like the small details of her being at the Elimination Chamber and facing off Rhea Ripley, the fact that Io Sky has been putting out 5-star matches post WrestleMania last year, ever since she kind of moved organically to a face because the fans loved her so much for how much she performed in ring. It does feel like she does deserve to be the champion at the moment. And I know that's to the cost of Rhea, but I feel as though that Rhea is not going to not have a WrestleMania match. I think this ties great into her storyline of her struggling. I'm not sure if you guys heard the backstage promo after, but it seems like she's been going through a lot. This will tie perfectly into her story and potentially getting herself a match between her, Bianca Belair, between Io Sky and Bianca Belair in a triple threat match. And I know a lot of people wanted to see Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley fight one-on-one, but I feel like Io Sky has been so good the last year, especially in ring. I don't see how she can not be part of WrestleMania. So again, I think a triple threat match between the three is something that I think will happen, and it's going to be unbelievable. I did read something though, and I'm pretty sure it's fake, that Rhea Ripley might not be featured in WrestleMania due to something that happened, but I can't confirm that source being reliable or true. So we'll have to find out on the next episode of Monday Night Raw. Speaking of Bianca Belair, so the way the match ended was Rhea Ripley was about to do a riptide from the top ring. She basically yelled out to Bianca Belair, "See you at WrestleMania." Before that, they had a little bit of a push-off because Bianca Belair was supporting Io Sky instead of Rhea Ripley, which was rather interesting. But I think, again, that ties into the storyline as well. There is a bit of a tension between her and Bianca Belair, and then there's also the rematch or her losing the title to Io Sky that brings that tension too, perfectly setting up a triple threat between them. So, yep, she tried to do a riptide off the top, got countered with a Hurricanrana by Io Sky. Then Io Sky went up for her moonsault, getting the victory there. And I think when Rhea Ripley did say that to Bianca Belair, that's when I thought, I think Io Sky might win this. And yes, it was a massive surprise, and Triple H doing 2 surprises in 3 days was pretty amazing as well for booking. So Triple H looking to set up a pretty tasty WrestleMania. And we need to see what's going to happen with Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Jade, because that's also going to be in the background while she needs to focus on winning the World Heavyweight Championship as well. So lots to kind of see what's going to happen, and lots to cover in the future as we continue, as I mentioned last week, continue to get on that road to WrestleMania. It's super exciting, and can't wait to see what happens over the next probably 10 or so shows before WrestleMania, and hopefully Main Event gives us kind of little teasers as to where the superstars are going to fall onto the main show as well. But again, as I mentioned, I can't wait for WWE to come to Australia. They're thinking that it's going to be around October, November time. I'm hoping it's not in October, because I have a few things that I'm going to be doing during that month that's going to be really busy, and it might not allow me to make it to Perth, but I'm really hoping I have time for that. I'm hoping to attend all the shows if possible. It's super exciting. And once again, as mentioned at the start of the show, also got my new podcast, At The Huddle Within. You can find it wherever you get your podcasts, like the shows here. And something new for me, and really excited to dive into that space as well. But I'll leave it there for this week's episode of The Main Event. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Cheers.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app.
so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.